line, but the lives of hundreds of students and staff, as well as dozens of police officers now outside.
He said to tell them to back off. He doesn't want the kids. He wants the police. So back off. And what else, sir? He said he don't care if he died. He don't have nothing to live for. And he said he's not mentally stable.
Okay, stay on the line with me, okay? Put the phone down if you have to, but don't put it on hold so I can't hear.
Okay.
Can you tell me where you are?
In the front office with him.
He's got an AK-47. She's only armed with her words and puts her own life on the line.
I can let them know that you have not tried to harm me or do anything with me or anything if you want to. But that doesn't make any difference. You didn't hit anybody. So, okay, let me ask you this, ma'am. He didn't hit anybody. He just shot outside the door. If I walk out there with him, so they won't shoot him or anything like that?
To connect with the suspect, she pours out her own personal story of a marriage that suddenly ended.
Well, don't feel bad, baby. My husband just left me after 33 years. But, yes, you do. I mean, I'm sitting here with you.
And her own thoughts of suicide.
We all go through something in life. No, you don't want that. You're going to be okay. I thought the same thing. You know, I tried to commit suicide last year after my husband left me. But look at me now. I'm still working and everything is okay.
There's no hint of fear, no sense she's lying to save herself. Her cool, collect nature moves even the police dispatcher.
Ma'am, you're doing a great job.
Moments later, after convincing the gunman to put down his weapon and lay down himself, the police barge in. And only then does Antoinette Tuff finally break down.
I'm telling you something, babe. I ain't never been so scared in all the days of my life.
Me either. But you did great.
Ooh, Jesus.
And it's at that moment that you realize how just human she really is, having held up for this remarkable ordeal that went on for almost an hour. It should be pointed out that Ms. Tuff has been with this school district now about 8 years, been in this school about 3 years, but on that particular day, she originally was not scheduled at that time to be in the office. She was there due to a last-minute change. Talk about fate, Christy.
Body cameras are becoming increasingly used and popular law enforcement officers in Rialto, California, after a successful pilot program in the American state would soon be wearing them. New York is expected to be next after a federal judge ruled the city's stop and frisk policy is unconstitutional and ordered cameras for some officers. More in this report by CNN.
Basically, this is the camera device.
In Rialto, California, police officers are wearing tiny portable cameras on their uniforms to monitor their dealings with the public.
Slow down. It's tethered with a battery pack. The battery pack allows us to activate the camera.
There were 54 officers involved in the experiment.
It does all of the audio and video recording. It is stored inside here internally. It cannot be manipulated, turned off, changed in any way.
Now that stops, searches and arrests are being filmed,
keep your hand, see your hands, both of you.
Rialto's police chief says that complaints against officers has dropped 88% from 24 complaints last year to only 3.
Keep your hands so I can see them.
And use of force has also fallen by 60%.
When they get dispatched to a call or they're going to make a self-initiated contact, they turn the device on.
How you doing, sir? What happened? Your wheel blew off?
Yeah.
Can I call you a tow truck or something? I'm able to exit the vehicle, make contact with this person.
What happened? Your wheel blew off? Can I call you a tow truck or something?
I can pull this back and I can search through it. There's no manipulating what really occurred or what was really said. One day, this piece of evidence will serve as most of my report in court.
But would wearable police cameras limit racial profiling, and should they be implemented in a city as big as New York? People we spoke to were divided.
I think that it would help to change the relationship between the police and the people of New York City.
Tax dollars can go to so many other things, fixing so many other problems in society other than the camera.
The equipment was a little over $100,000 for the initial 70 cameras that we had. Think of the man hours that you can save, the time that your investigators can save on investigating all of these cases, quite frankly, money can be better spent by the officers being out on the street. The savings that we will have will easily outweigh the cost of the equipment. I think you really have to ask yourself, as a police chief, can you afford not to do something like this?
This is the future of law enforcement.
So the big question now is, how do you implement wearable cameras in a city as complex as New York? There are 35,000 police officers here. The police department is 300 times larger than that of Rialto, California. Obviously, there are serious financial and policy challenges. Zane Asher, CNN, New York.
And before we end this edition of the news, a reminder of our headlines. Momodu Akibayo has been relieved of his cabinet appointment as Momodu Eskole replaces him as the Minister of Lands and Regional Government. Vice President Jai said he has called on her cabinet colleagues to be sincere and diligent in the execution of their duties. Former Egyptian leader Hosni Mubarak has left prison but remains in house arrest after being adjudged to have overstayed behind bars without being convicted for the raft of charges brought against him. And a bookkeeper in an elementary school in the U.S. state of Georgia has averted what could have been another tragic episode by convincing a gunman to give up his weapon and surrender himself to the police. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Stay tuned and enjoy Grts programs.
وبه نستعين ونعوذ به من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم مبعوث رحمة للعالمين الذي جاء لكي يتمم مكارم الأخلاق والأدب صلى الله عليه وعلى آله الطاهرين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. إخوة المستمعين والمستمعات في كل مكان نرحب بكم مرة أخرى برنامج الدين والنصيحة، برنامج الذي يأتيكم من تلفزيون غامبيا بلغة السراهولة بواسطة أستاذين أستاذ محمود كبا أستاذ إبراهيم جانا في كل يوم الجمعة والعادة يوم الثلاثاء الساعة 4:30. وإن شاء الله الجمعة الماضية وكنتم مع أستاذ كبا واليوم أنتم معي في الموضوع الإصلاح بين الناس. وكما تعرفون أننا خرجنا من موسم رمضان ثم ندخل في موسم الحج إن شاء الله. ابتداء من يوم الجمعة القادم سنبدأ الحديث حول الحج، ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن نكون من الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. الحمد لله تيجين الله دعاني مارن ترنغاندانو والله سبحانه وتعالى تيجانا وإيدي مورناي وكيسون نما مور الله سبحانه وتعالى غناني فارسين دعاني أغناني أو فارسين نادا سايبونو أدا ديما سنو أدوا سسورة دينا مدو مال خيامون غودا واتنغم بسم الله ترنغاندانو يغو يغارو kaga dingra so gambia no wonado gambia sella watni programme ke be gar na kada ngiri gambia war nga gore ke dina ni no don kulla ko nyes sumbudo wadi islamic programme ke agar ni soni gangane nangire ka usajum pille usaji mamul kaba do usaji brama jagana wa juma dang juma suyi ado tarata wartini mexen na to do tagandenga juma dang diga galo usaji mamul kaba ni dina ni no don kulla ko nyay ko programme ke to ngani ke modi diga menya higabe kam dina ken gonde ko ga to mo be ogri son gasondi sanjane warno wagaro sanjane tanar kengani hijon kabare onadu allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gara hijura kuda gambian ko be dangana do mislom benu isruna daga isrunari jumare inshallah wado saji mamu kabo jopana hijun kabare ngani kebe o bogu son gaso gede o gara kharangu be dabar son gaso ken gonni o do ko xawna daga ona daga hiji gada allah gana hijura kul serbe dangane ando kenyani ma al khaman goda mando allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gangemu awa dina ke sanjanu nyani keda lengi inshallah gadi ngawa diga munu man kama kenyani mesronde nagan churonde nan churonde ndi suron naga al islah bainan nas al islah bainan nas allah subhanahu wa ta'ala da aya liti aya bega kandano dangane aga bangando danan dogana suronde ndi suron menaga ona tongu ona ndaro tongu nyamba tenga الله رمانيكو أتي إن الله يأمركم أن تؤدوا الأمانات إلى أهلها وإذا حكمتم بين الناس أن تحكموا بالعدل إن الله نعم ما يعظكم به إن الله كان سميعا بصيرا Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do nyamari ada kha nyamari mu'mini ona